right, welcome back. You're watching Profit Newsroom. Now, we're now joined on the show by the management of Tech Mahindra, another company that actually came out and released its results today. We'll be talking to Mr. Sujoy Anand, the CFO of Tech Mahindra. But before we get to him, let's actually quickly review the numbers that Tech Mahindra actually announced today. In aggregate, the profit after tax figure for the company stood at 140 crores. There we have it, 140 crores down from 230 that we saw in the same period last year, quarter-on-quarter basis, of course. And sales for the company up 1,113 crores rather, up from 1,051. So not too much of a difference over there as far as sales is concerned, but profits are down 40% almost. Sujay, thank you for joining us here on NDTV Profit. The first obvious question, looking at these two figures that I just read out, the revenues, of course, are there, but profit figures are significantly off. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, Bharat, so if you look at this quarter for us, our revenues were $228 million, which is up 8% sequentially. Our EBITDA margins this quarter are at 25.5%. The reason I am focusing you on EBITDA is that reflects the operating performance of the company. Our PAT, as you have mentioned, has declined. There are two reasons for that. One is, as you know, we made the Satyam acquisition for which we leveraged our balance sheet, and there is substantial interest on our P&L at the moment. The other is that we have had a $7 million swing in other income, basically because of mark-to-market forex losses, which is, a one-time impact. So overall, I think the thing to focus on as far as our quarterly performance is concerned, the fact that at $228 million, our revenues grew 8% sequentially this quarter, and our EBITDA margins remain at 25.5%.
Now, Sanjay, we've seen a little bit of an increase as far as the overall revenue for the company is concerned from the same period last year. But can you tell us more about, this is a slight increase in revenue based on increase in terms of volumes or perhaps just currency moves?
So when you look at the sequential growth of 8%, which is the growth in Q1 of this year versus Q4 of last year, that has a combination of volume growth and some benefits from currency as well.
Okay. Now, moving on from that, what about pricing? We know that there will, of course, be continued pressure on the pricing front. How has that fared in the first quarter?
Well, as you correctly pointed out, customers across the world are under pressure, and they are looking for benefits on pricing. We are focusing them on discussions on value. That being said, I think as far as this quarter is concerned, we've not seen an impact. However, there are discussions going on, and we will have to see where they end up in the quarters to come.
Now, before your acquisition of Satyam, of course, BT was a very big client of yours, significant amount of revenues coming in from that one client. Now, how has that business shaped up, and what is your forecast for the remaining portion of the year from BT?
So if you look at the BT business, as we had communicated last quarter, core BT continues to be under pressure, as you can see from other vendors. However, the other projects that we took with BT have done well, and overall for us in pounds, which is the currency in which we do business with BT, sequentially our revenues have remained flat. So I think it's been a good quarter opposite BT compared to other vendors, and pressure in terms of the business there is going to continue, and we will report back.
About currencies, of course, they play a significant contributory factor in terms of forex losses. We had around 26 crores of losses. Now, in view of that, will you be changing your strategy on how you handle this?
No, I think hedging. We use hedging to as a long-term strategy, and not from a perspective of taking positions, and we will continue to follow that strategy. If you look at any period, the last 4 quarters, 8 quarters, 12 quarters, overall we have gained because of our hedging and not lost there will always be some volatility between quarters, particularly at a time when currencies are moving so dramatically.
Fair enough, fair point over there. Now, let me just ask you one last question before we let you go over here. Now, can you comment a little bit on the road ahead for Mahindra Satyam? How is the deal pipeline looking in considering the acquisition that you made in as far as Satyam is concerned? What about your hiring plans? How will those be impacted? And can you comment on that going forward as well?
So, in terms of Mahindra Satyam, as we've shared, there has been a reorganization which is now in place. There has been great progress in terms of stability opposite customers. We have won some new business as well, and there has been progress on cost restructuring. You would appreciate that this was a company with numerous challenges, and I think it will take at least a year for us to get everything in shape there, but we have certainly made good progress in the early days in our view.
Okay, Sanjay, before we let you go, sorry about this, but one more question over here. This one is actually pretty important here. What happens to your 17% that you have in Sarvesta? What do you mean? What are you going to do about that, and any further provisions to handle that?
So, as you know, Sarvesta as a company has struggled in the current recessionary environment, and it's no longer a going concern. We had made an investment of £1 million. We have written down that value in the current quarter.
All right, Mr. Sanjoy Anand, the CFO of Tech Mahindra, joining us. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here on NDTV Profit. We value your comments as well as your contributions here. Let me tell you more about an exclusive story that we have for you regarding how debentures will now be classified as debt. Back in a minute.